Hello everybody and welcome back, and today I'm going to be talking about bad comic book movies that I do like and good comic book movies that I don't like. And the only criteria for this is really my own opinion and what I see from the court of public opinion. So if I see people tend to really enjoy this movie that I don't like, and movies that I see that people tend to not like that I do enjoy. That's really the extent of the criteria. So why don't we go ahead and jump right on in with the first movie that I do like that I'm pretty sure a lot of you don't. So the first movie that I actually do enjoy that I know a lot of people really don't is Green Lantern. And it really boils down to what I call the movie being behind the times. So what I mean by that is this movie was released in 2011, of course starring Ryan Reynolds, Blake Lively, and Mark Strong. And this movie, if it were to be released in like that circa 2006, I think this movie would be seen as your mediocre 2000s heavy CGI superhero movie. Kind of like I was going to say another movie on this list, but I'll get to that one in a second. But I think that this movie, of course, heavily relied on the CGI, which isn't great. They really swung for the fences when it came to the suits of the Green Lanterns and how the energy would flow through the suits. When you describe what they do with the CGI on paper, I think they're all very valid ideas. But, of course, nothing executed in that department. And when it comes to the script, my biggest critique, these are supposed to be space cops. These are supposed to be, policing the cosmos. And the Green Lanterns are supposed to be cosmic heroes. Why is the movie on Earth so much? And those are my only two big critiques. I'm not really expecting masterpieces when I go into the movie theater unless it's hyped like an Infinity War or an Endgame. And so when I watched Green Lantern the first time, I enjoyed it as a 12, 13-year-old kid. When I was a later teenager, I really disliked it. I was on a college basketball trip, and one of the movies that one of my teammates popped in for all of us to watch on the bus was Green Lantern. And I remember sitting there saying, oh, this movie's horrible. But you know what? I'll watch it with the open mind. And ever since I watched it on that bus with an open mind, I have really turned around on the movie and have seen it for what it is. A fun, solid, pretty good Green Lantern adaptation in my personal opinion. And it's no masterpiece, but it's a very fun 2-hour movie. So the first movie that I really don't like that I know a lot of people really do is Keanu Reeves' Constantine. And the thing is with this one is I was just bored watching it. I could not tell you who the villain was in this movie at all. I couldn't tell you, who anybody was. I was lost half the time. I just couldn't get behind it. I do not like Keanu Reeves as a cast for Constantine. I really don't. And the thing is with Constantine, I think of the smart-assed Englishman who's chain-smoking and drunk half the time, if not all of the time. And Keanu Reeves did get the drinking and smoking part of it, but it seemed like that was really it. And to me, when I watched that movie, I don't see Constantine. I see a lot of things that make Constantine, but I don't see Constantine. And maybe it's just the fact that I was introduced to live action and those, film portrayals with Matt Ryan as the actor for Constantine, and he is John Constantine to me, and I know to a lot of other people. I cannot get behind Keanu Reeves as Constantine. I know Keanu Reeves has his adoring fans who love to see him in everything because Keanu Reeves, he seems like such a great guy, and he, from what I hear, is a great guy. And I know he really wants to come back and play Constantine again. I'm sorry. I'm not on board with it. Personally, I did not understand that casting. I am bored whenever I watch that movie. Sometimes for me, when I dislike a movie, it's like you can laugh at the movie, like a Batman and Robin, where you can really laugh at that movie, or it's like Constantine. And when a movie bores me and I can't even laugh at it, then it's lost on me, and I really don't like it. And now another movie that I enjoy that I know a lot of people don't is that other movie that I was going to reference in Green Lantern, and that is X-Men Origins Wolverine. I actually really like this movie. Bad CGI, cheesy action scenes and all. I really, really like this movie. When you strip a lot of that bad CGI and the over-the-top action scenes, and you look at the story, I actually like the story of how Logan, grows up with his brother Sabretooth, Victor Creed, and he grows up with him. They go through all the wars. That intro is amazing, by the way. And they meet Stryker, they join this team, and they go on, and of course Victor does a lot of things that Logan doesn't approve of, and the team does a lot of things that Logan doesn't approve of, and of course he leaves, finds a happy life in Canada, until he is forced to come back into the team because Victor decides to kill a bunch of people alongside Stryker in hopes of creating a new weapon for the US government, which of course turns out to be the atrocity of a portrayal of Deadpool, played by the brilliant Ryan Reynolds, but in the worst way possible, which luckily that has been fixed. And we're not here to talk about that, but talking about the movie and why I like it, I just do. I mean, when it boils down to it, like, I can look past the bad CGI and just see the movie, and I'm just entertained by it all. It's almost not quite, and I'm laughing at it. I laugh at the bad CGI, similar to how I laugh at it with Green Lantern, but when I watch that movie, I see a badass Victor Creed. I see a badass James Logan. Gambit to me was really, really fun, played by Taylor Kitsch. I think Will.i.am and Hugh Jackman, whenever they had a scene together, I thought that was really fun banter that they had. Fred, of course, blowing up and becoming a tank with being the Blob, and I thought that was really, really fun how they incorporated that. Also, Dominic Monaghan, showing up and playing, I can't remember the name of the character off the top of my head, but I really just enjoy this movie. Agent Zero is a fun, despicable villain that has some really fun action scenes. And when I watch the movie, I just have fun with it. It's not Logan, where it's going to make you cry at the end. It's not the Wolverine that's amazingly underrated. It's not X-Men Days of Future Past, where that one is also amazingly phenomenal in combining both the older and younger versions of all the characters. No, it's just a fun 2 hours. And a lot of times, if you hear me talking about these kinds of scenarios with these movies, if I feel like I got a $10 movie ticket worth out of it, I'm going to enjoy it. And this clears a $10 movie ticket, in my opinion. And the last movie I'm going to talk about today that I don't enjoy, that I know a lot of people do, is Kick-Ass. And I get what they went for with Kick-Ass, where it was, a more what a teenager would realistically kind of see if he were to become a hero, and having that sort of satirical side of it. And I enjoyed that. Nicolas Cage I thought was hilarious in this, but I'm not a fan of Christopher Mintz-Plasse. I don't even know if I'm saying his name correctly. I'm not a big fan of him as an actor. Of course, you have young Chloe Grace Moretz. And like I just said, Nicolas Cage is hilarious in this movie. And Aaron Taylor Johnson is really fun as well, with, some supporting role by Evan Peters. Of course, we have the dual future Quicksilvers. But I don't know what it really was. If it was the casting, if it was the screenplay, if it was just the concept in general. I just didn't latch on to this movie like I know a lot of people did. And when I watched it, I'm like, I'm entertained, I'm enjoying it, but I'm not entertained in the same way that I was entertained with Green Lantern and X-Men Origins Wolverine in this reverse scenario. When I watched it, I was like, am I missing something? I might be missing something. If I am, please, if you do like Kick-Ass, please comment below what it is you enjoy about this movie. And the next time I watch it, I will try to watch it with a new light, and I might be turned on this movie. And so I guess this is just me saying that when it comes to Kick-Ass, whether it's the casting or the screenplay or the whatever it was that I didn't like with it, I can really just say that when I watch that movie, it's like I feel like I should like it, but by the end of it, I'm like, I really didn't like this as much as I feel like I should have. I really don't know what I can say here other than I really feel like I should like it, but I really don't. So if you do happen to really like Kick-Ass, please comment below of reasons that you do enjoy it, and I would love to rewatch it in the future with a new light. That's all I really have for today, and thank you all for watching if you made it to the end. And comment below any other movies that you do like and you feel like a lot of people don't, and vice versa. And if you like this video, please do so. Subscribe if you haven't already, and have a very lovely day.